DegloireSpace signing in. It's been brought to my attention that there's been a short viral clip of a Coldplay concert. And in the concert, there's a camera that focuses on different people that are engaged in loving acts, couples and such. And it puts it up on the big screen. And one of the unfortunate, or fortunate, we don't know yet, is a man and a woman that, according to a lot of the sources, were having an extramarital affair. The man was married. I didn't understand whether the woman was or she was divorced, so I'm not 100% sure about that. But this video has achieved the status of viral, even though it only goes for a few seconds. And it's been the topic of many different videos. So, you know what? I thought I want to give my spin. Let's give DegloireSpace a spin on this and see what's going down, what's really happening. The first thing that we really need to ask ourselves is, why does something like this go viral? Why are people so, they see something like this and everybody's jumped onto it, judgments all over. You should see the comment sections of those videos if you haven't already. Why is it such an interest? Let's not glorify extramarital affairs or such like that, but the fact is, it is a very common thing. It's not like a one-off, and it's not a new thing. It's not like it was invented yesterday. Why does it never fail? But to impress people. People need to know more about it. People are more curious about it. Suddenly everybody's got something to say about it. My husband cheated on me too. Oh, my wife, she went off with another man. So people are basically projecting. In the projecting, there's a lot of judgments. I saw a particular channel, he's basically talking on the behalf of Jesus. Even though I remember Jesus clearly saying, "He who is without sin cast the first stone." I remember that quote very, very much. Nonetheless, he begins his video by saying, "Sin! And they should be shamed." I love the amount of compassion these people have. The reason why I say that, I'm not justifying the action of the two having an affair or such, and I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. I'm just saying you don't know what's behind it. Yeah, sure, the wife comes out and speaks and says that she's been the loyal one and she's now dropping the name and and all that stuff. But really, do you really know the background story? Do you know what led this man to that? And I'm not saying he had a reason, but do you know the reason? You don't. Do you know what he was feeling? Do you know what the wife was feeling? Do you know how life was between them? Were they just holding their marriage because, we're comfortable? We're doing what everybody does. To be successful, it's good to be married because people look at you as, you are now, let's just say you're a CEO. You're married, you've ticked that box. They don't look at the substance of your relationship. They don't look at it to see, are you happy or not happy? They don't care about that. These kind of things are just showing us that we can't live surface level. Yeah, sure, you're married, you're in a relationship, but it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. Because, or you could be successful, have a big job. You could lose it any day. This guy was in a nearly $1 billion company. And then the next day found himself without a job. And here you might say, yeah, he deserves it. Why are you so caught up about it? Hey, he's doing the wrong thing. You don't know what wrong and right are. And you know what? You don't know what's the future of this. You don't know what happens. This guy might turn around and become even more successful. This guy might come around and find another relationship that's better than this one. This one might be more comfortable. He's had some kids and he's been stable. But you don't know what happens in the future. Why are you so caught up about it? Why are you so invested? Could it be that you're not happy with your life, so you're coming out there and just, oh, look at what he's done, hey, oh, I would never accept somebody cheating on me. Even though, in that particular scenario, there is a level of of ego that's going to be part of it. You know, when the whole world has seen that your husband has cheated on you, or somebody else, even if it's just not between you two, it's going to be a little bit more, you know, stroking to the ego to say, I'm leaving. And I'm not saying she should have left. I'm not saying she shouldn't, because I don't know the ins and outs of the story. You know, there's been cases, you know, Kobe Bryant, where he went through whatever he went through and his wife decided, no, I'm sticking through. There isn't a right and there isn't a wrong. It's not that easy. And you who think it's that easy, oh, this is sin, you know, whatever, this is, you know, if you think that, yeah, you know what, good on you. And I'm glad that life doesn't fall on the hands of people like you. People who don't ask questions, people who don't want to analyze situations, people who don't want to upgrade and say, maybe the old systems aren't working anymore. Maybe they're not. We should be asking questions. We should be, you know, every person out there who's looking at this and not happy with a relationship, or might be cheating already, or might have been cheated on, this should be a reminder to you, like, look into it and see, man, is it because I'm living a life that I'm not convinced with? Is it because I'm choosing surface level things? You know, how I appear on the outside. People see me and my wife, or me and my partner, and we look good together. But on the inside, we're not happy. On the inside, we got so many problems. But on the outside, we tick all those boxes. Could it be those are what are on people's minds? One of the funny things that I found is when people said, hey, you know, the woman he was with, she's the head of HR. Do you know what the head of HR do? They're the ones that tell people off. They're the people that police other people. And you know what? There is a point to that, because you cannot police other people as obvious as you think. I would say to you, if you're at work, try not to date people at work. I will generally say that. And I would say, because if things don't go as planned, if things don't go right, you don't know where it might take you. You don't know what could happen. And so you don't want to risk your job. So that's generally the advice I give. But is that advice all the time? You know what? No. Because you might genuinely fall in love with somebody at work. You might genuinely have something strong build with that work. And you might have somebody at work who's so mature that even if you break up, it's cool. So there isn't a definite answer. Whereas a lot of these, you know, makers of policies, they don't care. To them, the policy is blind. They're not using any kind of human intelligence. They're looking at it from perspectives that are not alive. They're looking at it from just a generalization. If anything, that teaches us to be, if you are HR, don't forget compassion. Don't jump into this, oh, I'd never do that. I'd never do that. Yeah, you don't have the balls to, that's why. It's not because you won't do that. What's human is human, regardless. Then, of course, I have to address the woman who took the video. Oh, I have to address that one. The one who did all the good. She saw, you know, I don't know what she was doing, taking videos of people, but anyway. But she wouldn't have posted it if it didn't look sus. Oh, she wouldn't have posted it if their reaction wasn't like that. What a good deed. What a good Samaritan. How proud she must be. How heroic. She revealed the bad villains of this story. And then she says, I feel sorry for the spouses and partners of such people. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You know what I see? Unhappy people making more people unhappy. That's what I see. And I remember at the interview, she says, if you're playing stupid games, you win stupid prizes. How do you know that's a stupid game that they were playing? It's not socially correct. There is probably a better way of handling that. But then again, these situations are so difficult to handle. You know, yeah, the man might have fallen in love with another woman. But it's not ABC, because it doesn't mean he doesn't love his woman. It's a very generalized answer that people, oh yeah, because he's with that one, he doesn't love that one. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that. He's definitely attached to the other one for some reason. And then it's not so easy to speak up. There's so much to lose. And I think that's where he's wrong, because sometimes, even if there is so much to lose, it could be worthy to reevaluate your life, to ask these deeper questions. And I think this whole situation, whether from the two lovers or everyone else, if there's something everyone worked on, is that the lack of honesty to themselves all over. And that's what usually pushes people to be fascinated by these issues. You know, that lady that took the video, hey, she could have thought about this in another way. Let's just say she was more of a compassionate person. She could have thought about it as maybe they're having an affair, but maybe this is a one-off. Maybe this person is just coming now to light and he's gonna fix himself with his wife. Hey, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but maybe. You don't know. You don't know the ins and outs of these people. By continuously ignoring our nature and not giving it our attention, we're gonna keep falling into these issues. One day it's somebody else, the other day it could be us. Everybody has their day where they're gonna suffer something unexpected. It's a normal human thing. And I believe it's honesty and compassion. And here, honesty, you know what, to yourself, that will get you through. Sometimes when other people are involved, it's difficult to say what to do. I don't know what his wife is like. I don't know what he's like. I don't know what his house is like. I don't know what he has at stake. I don't know all that stuff. And here somebody could just jump in and say, oh, it doesn't matter. He has to be honest. I mean, yeah, really? You don't understand social dynamics to see how difficult situations can be, how unhappy people can be deep inside. You know what? Maybe this is your lucky day, Mr. ex-CEO. Maybe this is your lucky day to start anew, to start afresh, and to build something where you are more convinced, and to take onus of your actions so that you have a better life. It's actually all about the better life for you. Because look, doesn't matter. You lived, I don't know how many years with your wife. It took her 2-3 days to drop your name. That's all it takes. And here people will say, yeah, but she's hurt. You don't know how much she's hurt. Hey, I understand. But 20-30 years, I would say she should understand him. And maybe, we don't know, maybe the background is they haven't had a good life together for a while. And this is just the icing on the cake that was like, oh, so he's not at work. I want us to look at this not in a moral policing way. You know, he's married, he's got kids. What was he thinking? Those are all structures that we have placed on ourselves, on our society. And I'm not saying this, they're not right. Because, you know, we do need some form of social structure where people's rights are kept. But don't be fooled by thinking this is the correct way to human nature and there's no other possibility. This is how we advance as people. This is how we advance as a society, by continuously looking at the issues that we get and building from there. People might look at this today, you know, talk about this for 3-4 days, and that's it. They forget all about it. It's all finished. In a year's time, nobody cares unless it's raised. Unless this guy is now trying to succeed again, people are going to try to say to him, hey, don't you remember what you did in the past? And this is where he must take onus and say, yes, I did that. I did that. And you choose to stay there, good for you. I'm moving on. We should never play the moral police. We should never be HR on each other's. I can imagine HR having a job, having something at work, but outside of work, even any problem inside work that goes beyond work, It's gonna happen. And sure, the law is not gonna stick by the side of the real authentic love. It's true. But I tell you, your life will be a lot better if you stick to the authenticity, to the being genuine, to the real deep honesty with yourself. You want to make your life better? Those are the things, not HR. You know what? You'll find a way around. If imagine HR kicks you out, and I've seen people get questioned by HR for very stupid things. You know, I've been working for many years. I've seen some very stupid things that under human law are very normal, but under company law, they're not normal. And HR asking the person, why did you do this? And I'm looking at them, are you dumb? Do you not understand human nature? What they're doing is perfectly aligned with human nature, not perfectly aligned with your laws. So guys, yeah, this might have been a 15-second clip or whatever, and it went viral, but it leads us to ask a lot of questions, and we shouldn't ignore these things. All of these things are on the backs of our minds all the time, because we know that life and laws are not equal. Psychologists have known this for a long time. People who were awakened to nature knew from a long time ago that this is not the way. Sometimes you are going to be a casualty of law. A casualty of law. So basically you haven't done anything against human nature. And I'm talking here not about something punishable, something that's not harmful. I'm not talking about killing. I'm talking about simple things like a man meets a woman meets a man, they fall in love. Man might be married, but you think a piece of paper that you signed, you think that a vow that you make on a particular day, on a Tuesday or a Saturday or a Sunday, do you think that vow takes precedence over the changing times? If people were able to say a word and stick to it till the end of time, most love stories that ended harshly wouldn't happen. You say to someone, I love you forever, but you don't. I love you unconditionally, but you don't. I'd never leave you, but you do. We break our vows every moment. We need to look at each other with compassion, especially from a mindset point of view, because these are the ghosts that haunt us. These are the demons that stalk us. So we need to face those deeply, not just to be like, oh yeah, she's right, he's wrong. DegloireSpace signing out.